AMN Healthcare is a healthcare staffing and services company. We are the largest in the industry at what we do. We put physicians and nurses and other clinical professionals on assignment in hospitals throughout the U.S. Well, the evaluation process is actually a pretty interesting story for us because we already owned 10 different HR systems. We've grown partly through acquisition, and because of that, we had never gotten to the point where we could integrate and consolidate and bring all those HR platforms into one enterprise system. And it had been the pain point for the company for several years, for sure. We've done legacy implementations previously at AMN Healthcare and in previous companies as well. And I think our experience has been like most in the industry. It's heavy, it's expensive, it's complex. There's significant amount of upfront capital required, both in terms of IT personnel and staff and consulting, but also equipment and infrastructure and so forth. And the scenario we've all experienced in the past has been that you need to set aside a significant amount of time and effort to make that a workable system. And even when you've made it workable, in some cases you might wind up having done more customization than you intended, and before you know it, you're trapped, and you're on an old version of the software, and it becomes more and more expensive and more difficult to upgrade. And before you know it, several years have gone by, you've been paying for maintenance and support and upgrades, but you can't afford to apply the new versions, and you're paying for something that you can't use. So we didn't want to be sort of trapped in that old school thinking and really wanted to embrace where we saw technology, and not just technology, but the agile responsiveness of a SaaS-based platform. We thought that was a good alignment with a company, AMN, who wants to also be very agile and responsive. Well, from an IT perspective, the biggest efficiency that I have seen, and what was the driving factor for the return on investment, was really getting rid of the cost and expense of supporting most of those 10 systems that were in place previously. So just from a hard dollar cost savings by being able to turn off the annual maintenance and support and all the infrastructure and people costs associated with all those different systems drove an immediate saving benefit to the company, self-serving their own need. But in terms of IT, that really freed up our resources that otherwise would have been consumed for perhaps a year in doing a legacy implementation. They were freed up almost immediately to focus on other customer-facing project opportunities. So big value, big return for us from an IT point of view. Very happy with that. And AMN is, in a sense, a professional services and a staffing company. Our product is really putting people to work in the acute care hospital setting. And the most important asset we have as a company are the people that work in the company that make that happen for our customers. And so it's extremely important to us that we really have a strong focus on building and developing the talent of our company. And you can't even begin to do that without a good, solid technology and a platform and a foundation. And before Workday, we didn't have that. We had many different siloed systems that were redundant. They had different processes tied to those different systems, and we couldn't really make strategic corporate decisions. But now we've got this common enterprise platform in place that manages all the employees around the entire corporation, and that's a platform and a foundation on which we can build talent management and human capital management programs. And as we go forward, as the Workday product builds out in other areas, we'll be extending that to cover more and more functions of the company. We're always able to gain the benefit of Workday's product innovation very quickly and easily. The product updates that occur throughout the year are non-events as compared to legacy ERP software, where typically you may not even be able to gain the benefit of those releases or new versions. So from a technology point of view, it's very seamless, it's very transparent. There's always been very good communication from Workday in explaining what the update will contain, and our business and our users, I think, are able to benefit from that in a pretty transparent way, so we're not bogged down by that from an IT point of view. In terms of the business is constantly innovating and moving in new directions. We're launching new products and new services on a regular basis, and in the past, it would be very difficult for us to assemble the information we would need to field a project team to go and launch a new product, because that data existed in many different systems and it might have taken weeks to pull it together. Manipulating the data with Excel spreadsheets, before you know it, the data is out of date and you're making bad decisions. So by having Workday, we feel like we have the technology and the platform to very quickly answer business questions about business innovation, new product launches and things like that, and we can very quickly reassemble a team and move them together to go do something that's important for the business. So I feel like it's helped us not just from a technology innovation, but really is aligned with our business innovation, and I think we're delivering a lot of value to the business by having put that foundation in place.